A 3-year tendered result from the Business Leaders Perception Survey conducted by Noipolls over the period of 2009 to 2012 reveals that the most critical factors limiting Nigerian businesses are power, security, corruption and access to finance. Now, although Nigerian government hands over power access to preferred bidders today, CNBC Africa's Ibrahim discussed the potential for growth in Nigeria hereon with Oge Modie, CEO of Noipolls. Take a look.
The survey we've been doing over a 3-year period is called the Business Leaders Perception Survey. We do this in collaboration with a DFID-funded program called ENABLE. And for the 3 years, power has been ranked as the most limiting factor inhibiting businesses in Nigeria. Now, this survey is done across the entire country, and we survey 1,000 businesses across micro, small, medium, and medium enterprises across all sectors of the economy. Now, power has been ranked consistently as #1 in 2009, 2010, and 2012. Power came to 3rd position, corruption took the 1st position, security 2nd, power and finance, access to finance took the 3rd, smuggling took the 4th, and then the last one was the level of tax, roads, and the other ones. Business leaders were asked, what are the factors, the key factors that inhibit your business, doing business in Nigeria, inhibit your businesses growing in Nigeria, and these were the factors that they've consistently picked over a 3-year period. So we released these results last week, just also to allow people see and also have access to that sort of information, and work towards getting these factors, a bit more on the lower level ranking.
According to the World Bank report Doing Business for 2013, Nigeria ranks 131st on the list of 185 countries in terms of ease of doing business. How does the business regulatory environment contribute to this?
I think that we've made very good progress in Nigeria with regards to, because that ranking comes in terms of the ease of doing business, how you can start a business, registering a business. It comes up also when, in terms of enforcement of contracts and the rest of that. I think that we've made, quite good progress in terms of when you want to register a business with CAC. So I think in terms of the regulatory environment, it's getting, little progress has been made to enable a business register. But the other parts of it that become a bit more difficult are the things that don't have to really do with regulatory, but with infrastructure development. And that's when the issue of power comes. The issue of dealing with security issues, and then corruption. That's where all those come out. I think that concerted efforts are being done to deal with the issue of security. Access to finance, the CBN has come up with a lot of intervention programs, the last one being, I think, about 200 billion that they've put forward for SMEs. Power also, we're going through the power reforms. NCP just finished a privatization in terms of moving over the power assets, the first phase of it. So I think that the only one left, and that's what we talked about in our reports, is really dealing with corruption in terms of how endemic it is in the system, and calling on the relevant agencies, the EFCC and all, to extensively deal with the issue of corruption. So I think that we're making progress as a nation, working towards getting these issues out of the way.
How do we improve and ensure better business environments in the country?
Again, it's roundabout. I think it has to be concerted efforts between the organized private sector and the public sector. At some point, the state can't do everything, so it has to be an initiative, and I think quite a number of them are doing. For instance, now we're talking about the power reforms, and that's what that's all about. Moving the power assets, which were public, to private sector, So I think that we already started on that journey towards ensuring that we have an enabling environment. It may take some time, but the fact that we've already taken baby steps is quite encouraging. The issue about security also is something that's of major concern to business owners. But I believe also in terms of the concerted efforts by the government to push for safety of goods, services, and safety of people, it's also progress towards ensuring that that is out of the way. The regulatory bodies also have to build concerted efforts towards helping the MSMEs. So you have the large companies that are quoted on stock exchange that are doing very well, but the smaller businesses also do need some kind of capacity building and structure so they can have access to finance. So that's a major problem a lot of them face. The issue of collateral, being able to have almost 200% cover is almost incredible. So I think also the regulatory agencies should think about how to deal with the issue of collateral so that smaller businesses can have access to finance without having to go through that sort of structure.
Improvements in the enabling environment could create, could lead to a higher investment. But how challenging do you think this could be for the country?
Well, I think every country has its challenges. I mean, Europe is going through their depression, the austerity measures. But I think that, we do have a pretty good chance of working out our challenges. And like I said before, a lot of progress has been made. I think that, again, once we're well aware of what the issues are, and that's what this report has thrown out there, what the issues have been consistently over 3 years. And we will release that of this year by early next year. I think that when we're well aware of what's in front of us and what the issues are, I think then we can start to isolate each issue and start to work towards them. That's why, again, I talk about the power reforms being done, the issue with security, the issue with access to finance, which CBN is really charting a lot of programs regards even to in terms of inclusion, financial inclusion. I think that each agency and each responsible agency is working towards making progress in this area. Like I said, again, corruption is something that needs to be dealt with across all levels of government, even in the private sector. So I think that's where we believe more concerted efforts should be made. And I think with that, more investment, I think investment's already coming to the country, but more investment can also be attracted in here.